Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to FTRL, and we are in week 9 for GT1. It's GT1, it's Spa. What more could you ask for? I'll tell you what else you could ask for. An unbelievable title battle that is definitely going to be going into the final week, both drivers and constructors. So we'll have a look at that in a little while. Of course, we can take a punt at trying remembering how GT2 went last night. I can tell you how it went. Fever won everything. So that definitely gives his team an advantage. And Fever is back today. So having strolled around 24 hours ago, he's back, but in the Peugeot this time. And filling in for team only man. So we've got a real mix of people. We've got a full grid of 15 drivers. We've got a real mix. We've got people stepping in at the last minute. We've got people who've just been on holiday. We've got people who've been ill. We've got people who went to T. Smith's wedding last night and are still absolutely massively hungover. I'm not focusing on any one particular person there. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. And what happens tonight could have a huge bearing on the title, as Aaron makes a move on the outlap down the inside of Graham. As everyone jockeys for position on the outlap. Only 5 minutes of qualifying before we go into the sprint race, which means, as we saw yesterday, or as Zach saw yesterday, I believe it was, to his disadvantage, if you don't get round your outlap quick enough, you're only going to get one flying lap, and so I think we have trouble for Fever already, because he's got to get around this outlap and through before the sort of 2 minute 4 or around the 2 minute 40 mark. So we'll keep an eye on that. I think Will's just had a little outlap moment there as well, but the guys at the head of the pack, and that is Biggles right at the front in the Mazda, one of the title contenders, of course. He is going to come through to lead us round for the first flying lap of qualifying. On the soft tyres, so we are, I think we saw a low 217 yesterday for pole, so I think with GT1 we should definitely be looking into the 216s here. Let's see who we have in the chat. Good evening, Glyn. Good evening, Derek. Good evening, Phoebe, Mikey, and Royston as well. Good to see you all. Oh dear, Biggs has got a penalty up Eau Rouge. And that is going to ruin this lap for him, so he's only going to get one more chance. Everybody behind seems to be okay. No, Pagani's picked himself up half second as well. And Fever has only just got over the line, so this will be a one and only flying lap for Fever. As we said, he knows what he's doing. So let's see who we've got on the grid today. We've got a few stand-ins. Goy is back as well, as is Andy, filling in for the newlywed himself. Derek standing in too, he's standing in for Tom Duval. Oh, Homer's got a full second of penalties there. That won't help him. Oh, and there goes Jadon into the wall. So he's clipped the outside there, and now he's going to have to wait for everyone else to go through, which is going to put him at risk. He's only got a minute to get round the left of the lap, and he's trying to gently reverse out. Here comes Panda. He's got to wait for Panda to go through, and now he finally gets on his way. So we'll see if he gets another lap in. What were we talking about? Stand-ins, yes. I think that was it. So Derek, Andy, Goy, and Feber are the ones. Oh, and I think Feber's maybe had a bit of a moment there as well. So we'll look back to the front. Biggles has served his penalty, so it won't be a fast lap for him. It may well be a fast lap for Aaron, who's close right up to the back of Biggles and may even be getting a tow down the straight as they come towards the bus stop. Clips it in over the curb, swings it back out. Biggles very slow out. He may even be impeding Aaron, but Aaron's going to come across the line for, it is going to be a 2:16.4. Graham slots in behind, but behind by a full 1.4 seconds. Ross and Blue Flag getting a bit closer. Blue Flag within 3.5 tenths of Aaron. But nobody else getting close at the minute to that 2:16.4. That could be a real difficult benchmark to beat. And we are approaching 5 minutes now, so there is maybe a few that aren't going to get another lap. Pagani, I think, has just made it over the line, and he, I think, is the last one. So Jadale's not going to get another lap, so he's going to set a sweet, sweet qualifying time of 2 minutes 39. Fever across the line, the 2:17.4 is enough for P3 at the minute. So everybody else from Goy forward is going to get one more lap. So while we wait for them to get around the second half of this lap and see the times, let's see if we can figure out the standings a little bit. So, Drivers' Championship, pretty self-explanatory. It's more of a, it's close to a two-horse race now. It's not over for the guys below. Aaron in third on 2:43 and Panda in fourth on 2:38. But Aaron is 29 points behind Biggles, who's in second. So Aaron's on 2:43, Biggles on 2:72. And then taking the lead for, I believe, certainly, if not the first time this season, then certainly the first time for a long time this season, Pagani is hitting the front at just the right time. So Pagani on 2:75 is currently 3 points clear of Biggles. And he's currently up 2.5 seconds on his previous lap, which is a good thing too, because that lap was not good. Pagani currently in P14. So we'll head back to the front, and has Biggles pulled off a better lap this time? Yes, he has. 2:16.9 puts him into P3. Aaron doesn't improve, but nobody else seems to be able to match that time at the minute. Who else have we got coming across? Got Homer and Lee across the line. Unsafe release goes into P2 with a 2:16.5, and Homer nicks pole. 2:16.404. What a lap that is. Pagani improves to a 2:16.7, which puts him P5. So the guys that were looking at the front couple of rows have been shuffled down at the last. So qualifying result is as follows. Homer puts it on pole, 0.04 of a second ahead of Aaron. Unsafe release and Ross will be on the second row. Then Pagani and Blue Flag, then Biggles in P7. So we've got the championship leader in 5th and his main rival right behind him. We have the 10-lap sprint race to start with a maximum of 15 points available for the win, and then the 28-lap endurance race with a maximum 30 points available. So this could all yet change, but at the minute it's advantage Pagani for the sprint. Okay, here we go, race 1 of 2 tonight. 10-lap sprint, medium tyres only. Homer will be the one to lead us off. The lights are up and we'll go at Spa, and it is a good start as usual from Pagani in the background. He will look to squeeze at the inside of Unsafe Release, and he may even make it into P3 or P2 here. And he's cut the early corner. Unsafe going to squeeze slightly, and Aaron's had to run really far wide, 3 wide until there really does not go. And that's cost Aaron at the start of this race from P2 all the way down to 5th. So Homer leads us down. Pagani's taken advantage of the fast start of that Ferrari and got himself up to 2nd, closely followed by teammate Blue Flag. Unsafe Release in 4th as they all head through, and one of the Tools cars was a bit wide there. I think it was Blue Flag. Everybody's made it through safely. Looks like there may be a couple of penalties though. Got to keep an eye on this because this may be 3 wide. Fieber is the one who sends it into the corner first. He's outbroke himself a little bit, and there's a bit of a battle, door bashing going on with Graham and Panda. Graham's the one that takes advantage into P9 as I throw my controller across the room in excitement. Oh, and who's that off in the background? Is it... Oh, it's Derek. Oh, what the hell has happened to James? Did he forget there was a race on? Did he fall asleep? I've got no idea. Right, it is chaos at the front. Pagani's got half-second penalty. Unsafe has half-second penalty. Homer is now looking to make a dive up the inside of Puon. He doesn't quite manage it, and they accelerate back out, but if he can stick with those two, he'll be right back at the front. Behind him, another penalty for Blue Flag. Ross is in 5th. Aaron has a penalty. Penalties galore at the start of the sprint race. Biggles has a full 2nd. That's not going to do him any good. That's going to drop him right down, as you see the BMW of Andy going slightly wide in the background. So these penalties are all about to be served. As we go on board with Homer, he's got the overspeed, but the left-hander's coming up and there's no way through. He's had to let off the throttle. It's wise not to go for a silly move, especially on lap 1. But that has cost him the opportunity to take first place as they all slow down and get it stopped for the bus stop chicane. And Pagani accelerates away and stretches the gap slightly. In the background, Blue Flag just sticking his nose out there looking for a potential move on Ross, but it's not going to happen. Not yet anyway. Oh, Unsafe Release really close to the back of Homer. Is he going to be able to make a move this time? Lamborghini has decent straight line speed, but not quite enough on this occasion. And there's just no way through here unless somebody ahead of you makes a mistake. In the background, Ross, Blue Flag, Lee and Aaron as they head all the way down to long sweeping second gear right-hander. And then this tricky left-hander, you've got to try really hard. More difficult than you think to get close to the apex there. And then they run down the hill towards Pool. Was there a penalty up ahead? There was, and it's Ross, half a second. Everybody else seems to have got away clean. What has happened to James? No idea, he's in the pits. So Pagani's kept that lead. Not yet, not quite. Managing to break the toe to Homer though. And these guys all in the line. But Ross is going to fall back into the clutches of the cars behind him now. Let's see how much speed Blue Flag's got. Blue Flag's a bit further behind, so he may get the advantage here. If he can keep the speed up, he may get the opportunity for a move. Just lets off the fault slightly, but he runs wide. Oh, and there's a big twitch. Has he still got the pace to make the move? Ross goes defensive. Blue Flag, it goes down deep into the chicane. Oh, but he's too deep. And he's lost out to Lee. Bit of door banging as they come through. And that has not worked out for Blue Flag. He is down to P6. Lee takes over 5th position for Team Only Mans. Hello, Dusty Fossil. Good evening, my friends. Aaron has not really made a recovery yet after his poor first lap. Just as we go into lap 3, still plenty of time, but Aaron's in P7. We know he's got the pace. It's just proving very difficult for anyone to get a clue. Nova takes on as Panda and Graham look potentially to go side by side into a Rouge, but Panda thinks better of it. Opts instead for the good run out, and that may well have been a smart choice because he is gaining on Graham within 1/10. Dusty wants to know, was James peeing? I don't know what James was doing. I think he barely knows where he is at the moment. Somebody who knows where he is, knows exactly where to put his car as well, is Graham. Defended that one nicely from Panda. Biggles in P10. He needs to get a bit of a move on here with Pagani as championship leader, leading the race. He's still only leading the race by 0.6 of a second from Homer and then unsafe release, but leading nonetheless. You see the Lamborghini of unsafe, they're using every inch of the track available to him. Ross still there despite serving that penalty on the last lap. But now Lee is getting very close. Lee's had an excellent run through Pouhon. And now looking to the outside. If he can stick it all the way around here, he's going to have the inside for the next corner, and he does, and there's a big twitch from Ross. Lee has the inside. That's a really nice move. And Lee, who I think really has been getting better and better as the season's gone on, takes P4. So Lee Cole moving up the order. Ross dropping down slightly. Aaron is now up to P6. He's managed to find his way past Blue Flag as well. Panda is there in 8th, and Biggles is up to P9. He has managed to get past Graham now. Oh, Lee's under all sorts of pressure. Aaron is there. Ross is there. They are 2 abreast into the bus stop. And they've all managed to hold position nicely. Blue Flag looking for a move, but I think Ross has got the better drive off the corner. Now we'll just get a little bit of toe. Blue Flag has to duck back in. Aaron looking to make moves here though. These 3 at the front have made a clean break. 4 seconds to the pack back to them. So as we approach a third of this race completed, it is Pagani with an 0.8 lead over Homer and closely followed by unsafe release. These 3 look to be the ones that will most likely battle it out for the sprint race win. Oh, penalty for Blue Flag. That's not going to help. Someone it might help is Biggles, who's just past Panda and gone up to P8, so Biggles starting the road to recovery. A couple of these guys will really want to find some clean air for the second half of the race. There's been a lot of battling. It's Beach, aka Johnny Boy. Good evening, my friend. Good to see you in. How are the guys doing a bit further back? Derek is currently P12, followed by Goy, and then Andy at the back, but he is still holding on, but he's got a second and a half of penalties to serve towards the end of this lap. That is not going to help him. Here comes the blue flag penalty. We're going to go on board with Biggles, and he's able to sweep past. I mean, that says it all. Great job, James. Nicely done, my friend. I wonder if that's ever happened in Formula 1. James was off having a poo at the start of the race. At least you'll be a bit lighter now for the endurance race. Okay, Pagani leads now by 1.1 seconds, so he's really turned it on that last lap, set the fastest lap of the race at 2:17.3 on mediums. That is eye-wateringly quick. James said, what did it say? I feel another piss coming. Oh, P15. Oh, right. I thought so you've already been for a poo and you tell me you need a piss as well. What problems, man? Yeah, it did cross my mind. It did cross my mind if it was a pole position strategy for the endurance race. We'll see how it goes. Homer can't quite get back in touch with Pagani at the minute. So for the guys behind who are potentially still in the championship race, Aaron and Biggles, in particular Biggles, this really is damage limitation now. Biggles needs to get past the pack in front of him, probably the next 3 cars, just to limit the damage done, and then move on to the endurance race and look for a more positive result. Because at the minute, this is Pagani taking control of the championship. Ooh, unsafe release. Is really close to the back of Homer now. He's not close enough to make a move this time, but he is getting there. Aaron is in a clear P4 now. Lee is in 5th, Ross 6th, and Biggles in P7. So I said, Lee driving well, but not able to keep up with Aaron's pace. Lee's setting very consistent, low 219s. Aaron has just set a 217.8, and that Subaru can be, if you can keep control of it, pretty rapid around here. It really likes, not got the top end speed obviously, but really likes the sort of sweeping mid-speed corners, can turn well for the low speed hairpins and chicanes as well. You can see Aaron just losing a little bit of time down the straights, but watch that jump up as they come towards the middle section of this track. And there he goes. Oh, Pagani's pulled out a much bigger lead, and the reason for that is that Unsafe has taken the opportunity to make a move and pass Homer for P2. Oh, Biggles making moves again. He's passed Ross, and he's in 6th. Now we'll chase down Lee Cole. Biggles looks able to wring a bit more pace out of that Mazda than those behind him. He didn't have a good run through there, and Ross is right back on his tail. is he able to get away and start hunting down Lee? I think Biggles would probably consider he'd probably consider 5th place not job done, but certainly a decent amount of damage limitation considering where he found himself at the start of this race. Still a long way to go, still 4 more laps, but he is gaining on Lee, and that's a 2:18.7 compared to Lee's 2:18.8, so not a huge amount of gain on that lap, but he was getting past Ross in the meantime, so we will see. Come back tonight and see what happens. Unsafe has dragged out a bit of a gap for Homer now. He's dropped him from the slip. So he can now head off after Pagani, if possible. Ooh, very tight to the curves there. I think he would have got away with that one. But Pagani is going so quickly. 2:17.3, 2:17.9, 2:17.4, and he's purple through sector 1. They're going to have a job catching him, I'm going to be honest. Oh, Biggles. I saw somebody having a bit of a moment back there, and I think it was Biggles, because he is right behind Lecole, but he's got a half-second penalty. Oh, and then drifting it. Drifting right round that right-hander. He just needs to be clear of, in an ideal world, a bit more clear of Ross, so he doesn't lose that position when the time comes to serve that penalty. A bit further back, Panda is closing in. He set a really good lap last time, a 2:18.3. Graham behind him in 9th. Fever now is up to 10th. Goy 11th. Andy, and then Blue Flag has slipped all the way down to the back, or nearly the back. Derek is 10 seconds further back. And then we've got the throne holder himself. Still sat in the pits. Alright, Unsafe Release has not been able to shake Homer, but Homer's not getting enough out of that Renault, even with the tow. He is getting closer, but it's not quite going to get him there by the time they get to the bus stop, so he will settle in behind once again as they look to start lap 8, and this almost looks to be job done for Pagani. You just have to hold on and not make any mistakes now, and he will take victory in the sprint race. Aaron in P4 currently. Lee is still 5th, and that penalty has put Biggles behind Panda. Where is Ross? Does anyone know where Ross has gone? Oh, there he is. P10. Battling with Fever. Fever's got a penalty, but he won't serve that for a while, so definitely to his advantage to nick this place off Ross. He tries to go all the way around the outside, gets good drive off the corner, and into P9 goes Fever. So I don't know what happened to Ross there. That's promoted Panda all the way up to P6. He was right in the back of the pack at the start of this race. That might be another penalty for Biggles. Just saw him chopping the corner at the top for a Rouge there, and yep, that's another half second. And that is hurting him now. Only 3 laps left of this race. Oh, and he's off, he's wide, and he's round. Oh, nightmare. He's managed to get it stopped and right the spin, but he's going to lose a load of places. And he's going to come back onto the track in P10 as Ross sweeps fast. Oh dear. Nightmare for Biggles, and that could be a spin that costs him an FTRL GT1 title. It's not over yet, not by a long shot, but that gain for Pagani was going to be 4 or 5 points. It's now going to be 9 or 10 points. Oh dear, oh dear. So Pagani comfortable in the lead. Unsafe Release is a little more comfortable in P2, but not a lot. Home is still there, refuses to go away. Aaron in P4 is gaining, but not quick enough. He's going probably about 3/4 of a second a lap faster than those ahead of him, but that won't quite get him there by the end of the race. So he'll be hoping for a little bit more battling ahead of him. That Renault sounds dreadful. So now it's all settling out a bit as we come into the last 2 laps of the race. Fever's made his way up to 8th thanks to the struggles of those around him. Oh, Biggles is down in P13. Absolute nightmare. Oh dear me. What has happened? Well, well, well. See what's going on here. Panda is making his way through the field really nicely and is now having a good old look at the rear bumper of Lee's Jaguar. Here he goes to the outside. There's Lee on the inside as we're going to hit the 100 marker. Just past that, hit the brakes as late as possible to go around the outside, but no, Lee's got that stopped really nicely and just slips back in front. Little flash of the hazard lights from Lee as he comes around the right-hander wall. You can see why, because he's off over the curb. And now Panda tries to go down the inside, but again Lee looks to cut him off, but this time Panda's having none of it. And he takes P5 and Lee's got a penalty to boot. I don't know whether that was an accidental frantic mashing of the button from Lee, but I like the little flash of the hazard lights just before he went off the track. And as always around Spa, it's those who avoided the errors, those guys that managed to keep it clean, have just quietly made their way towards the top half of the finishing positions. Like so Panda, Aaron, and indeed the top 3, particularly Pagani, who's let off the pace a little bit now, and that's absolutely fine. He has no reason, no need to go any faster, especially with the tyres starting to wear a little bit. That rear left is almost half warm. He has no need to go any faster than that. Final lap of the race. Aaron's closing in. He's now just a second behind Homer, and that's because Homer ran a 2:20.6 on that last lap. And on safe release, not a whole lot quicker, whereas Aaron is still in the 2:18s and with better tyres than the guys ahead of him. So they're still on for Aaron, a podium finish here. He's the one to watch. Further back, Lee is starting to come under pressure from his fellow Jag driver Graham. A lot of pressure actually. Graham took that first corner really, really nicely. And then further back, Fever is in 9th, Ross in 9th, Goy in 10th, and then Andy, Blue Flag, and Biggles. Mikey wants to know why Lee's on soft. I'm not sure. I wonder if it's a screen glitch. He's certainly not taking soft lap times, that's for sure. However, his times have dropped off alarmingly. I don't know the answer to that one. Lee, of all people, I would have thought, would have known if he was on softs and would have come in to do the mandatory pit stop that would have come along with that to change the tyres back as soon as possible. So I get the feeling it's... Oh, I don't know. Anyway, at the front, completely clear. He got the start that has helped him throughout the season, all the way up to P2. Soon after that, made it P1, and he never looked back. It's been an absolute sterling drive. Spa always separates the men from the boys, and Pagani has passed that test masterfully. He comes through to take a win that could be instrumental in the Drivers' Championship. P1, 4 seconds ahead of Unsafe Release. He's got a penalty. That's not going to matter, because Aaron, who's got Homer on the final lap, comes through to take P3. Homer on P4. Panda has driven really, really well through the pack for 5th. Graham in 6th. Feber is going to hold on for 7th ahead of Ross, so good performance from Feber there. Ross in P8. Lee Cole suspiciously into P9. Goy with a good top 10 finish. Well done, Goy. Andy P11. Biggles has passed Blue Flag, who's had another drama. So Biggles will take P12 and Blue Flag P13, maybe, just about. Yep. Crashes in across the line just ahead of Derek. And the unfortunate toilet-bound Jadon will get a DNF. Well, as I said, only 15 points for the sprint race. And we've got another week to go after this, plus an endurance race to come, which we know Biggles excels at. And it is an endurance race that he will now be starting near the front of the grid. However, I would say that is the sort of statement race that wins you championships. So we will see. Oh boy, we will see. We've got 70 odd laps of Trial Mountain coming up next week. Have some of that. The title on the line. Jadon is finally out of the pits and he's got a penalty. I don't think he's going to be finishing this lap somehow. Final lap, lap 2 out of 10. The game should put him out of his misery soon. So what does that do while we wait? What does that do to the Constructors' Championship? We'll have to make a bit of a guess, because obviously we had GT2 last night, which FIBA was dominant in. So that will obviously very much help Onlymans. So let's take a look at the team standings. Before this week, it was Toms and St Mongs who were a good 26 points clear of Onlymans, but that would have been narrowed significantly, I would say, after yesterday. Although, to be fair, Team Toms did have some decent GT2 results yesterday. They didn't have a bad run. So the damage may not be too great. However, they have got 2 stand-ins this week. And the results of this race show that they had a 3rd place finish, an 11th place finish, and a 14th place finish. And that is compared to Onlymans P2, P7 for FIBA, and P9 for Lee. So that is a definite gain for Onlymans. I think we can consider Team Tools are probably out of the Constructors running, even despite that Pagani win and Panda P5. You never know, with a couple of good endurance performances, but not likely. So it's probably between Toms and Onlymans right now. And it's going to be very, very close. We are waiting for the endurance race. 28 whole laps. 5 times tyre wear, 5 times fuel. Must run all 3 tyre compounds for a minimum of 3 laps. Dusty also wants to know, will Lee still be disqualified? Now that depends what actually happened, because we've seen the screen tyre, whatever you want to call it, glitch before, that shows them on the wrong tyres when they're actually on different tyres. So we will check Lee's replay basically. If he was running on softs and ran the whole race on softs, yes, he will be disqualified. So do remember, of course, bearing in mind it's going to be reverse grid start for the endurance race, I want your predictions. Please tell me what you think is going to happen. I want a good, solid few predictions in the chat, please. 1, 2, 3. Well, first prediction in is Phoebe saying, I will be shit. I don't believe that, Phoebe. You've already outed yourself as being very, very good around Spa. Don't believe that for a second. Unless you meant it in the Jadon sense, so I will be taking a shit. In which case, maybe. Right, Dusty says Pagani, Biggles, Aaron. Pagani for the win. That's a bold call, and starting from the back. It's a long race. It is a long race. So it will not matter as much. Sorry, oh, it's the car. Oh, okay, I'll let you off then. 3 seconds off the pace compared to the Subaru. Jeez. I'm just going to point out that Derek's got his own Milka livery. He's changed it to Derek Duval on the side. Nicely done, Derek. I certainly think the liveries are absolutely one of FTRL's greatest strengths. In fact, you know, there's going to be plenty of excitement. There always is. It's Spa. We don't know what's going to happen. It is a 28 lap race, so it's a long race. So while we get underway and during the race, I want in the chat your favourite historic FTRL liveries. Whether that be novelty, whether that be replicas, whether that be completely original designs, I want to hear what were or have been some of your favourite FTRL liveries over the years, being that we're coming up to season 25. Which makes us all feel very old, I'm sure. Apart from you fuckers who are still like 19 or whatever, I've got nothing to say to you. But, yeah, liveries, what was I saying? Yes, liveries. Oh, it's very grey. Or is it just dark in the shadow? Oh no, it's still sunny. I thought it was really dark when we started off then. It might still be a bit cloudy. Frantic weather. Whenever Spa comes round, we get basically multiple copies of Michael Fish in the chat, just trying to predict the weather. We'll see what happens. So Jadon leads us away for the start of the endurance race, successfully this time. Rolling start, of course, and we head down to turn 1 for the first time. Jadon leads us round, followed by Derek, Blue Flag, Biggles in P4. He'll be the one to watch out for early on. All these guys starting on the medium, except James is starting on the softs, which is probably a good call. Andy on the mediums as well. Goy behind him running the hards from P6, which is interesting. We'll see if anybody has the pleasure of trying to get past him in short order, because Lee behind him is running the mediums, same as Ross in P8. Bieber running the hards in P9, Panda on the mediums in P10, Homer on the mediums in P11, and then it's Aaron on the hards, Unsafe on the hards, Pagani on the hards, and Graham has come a cropper right at the start. We didn't see that, whether that was at turn 1 or Eau Rouge. Graham is 7 seconds off the pace, unfortunately. Alright, Derek's immediately picked himself up a half-second penalty, which is going to put him under a lot of pressure. And Biggles, who's already made his way into P3 ahead of Blue Flag, is going to be all over that. James is 1.2 seconds clear. Now, he is on a softer tyre, but we have seen this before from James. If he can get to the front, and he's usually, when he's at the front, it's a result of an atrocious race 1 performance. followed by him getting pole for race 2. He has got the ability to put in good, solid, fast laps and run away and open up a bit of a gap. So we'll see what happens there, but for now we are going to go on board with Biggles as Derek serves this half-second penalty ahead of him. He's got to go for it. He's round the outside. Yeah, he's got him comfortably. P2 for Biggles. Oh, here comes blue flag as well. You lose so much time in that penalty section. Oh, and a bit of a door banging going on there. Blue flag backs out because of that. Derek is very deep. Andy is right there in the mix as well. Is it going to be blue flag who holds third? Yes, it is. Just cuts Derek off around the outside, and Derek's now lost out to Andy as well. So Andy goes up into P4. The two stand-in milk drivers line astern as they head up the hill. Firing it through there and up the hill at 150 miles an hour. Andy is hanging on to the back of blue flag, not gaining even though he's in the tow. That BMW is a terrible car. Lee is in P6, Ross is in P7. And is there a challenge coming here? It's Goy versus Panda. It's the battle we all want to see. Oh, Goy wins out. Phoebe's right there as well. Phoebe's got himself a penalty, but he's still challenging. A bit further back, Aaron's in P11. Unsafe Fullies is in 12th. Pagani has not managed to make any headway yet, apart from overtaking the unfortunate Graham and Homer, who's had a slip up somewhere at 2:52 first lap for him. He's had an absolute disaster compared to his good race 1 performance. This has not started very well at all. Running the traction control is Homer, which is that Renault is a bit twitchy at the best of times, I think, so quite possibly a sensible decision, especially if he has to go onto the hard tyres later, which he will. James is 3.5 seconds in the lead here. This is a very good start. Now I know those soft tyres do not last very long, and we've all seen people come a cropper. In fact, we've seen James come a cropper from pushing that Lamborghini too hard on the tyres, because those rear tyres go, that is it. So we'll see how he gets on. Biggles tyre wear is, as usual, excellent. And everyone else behind him running the medium's not so bad either. So this will be good for Jadon to get a good lead, but it will only last probably, well, he should be able to get 6-7 laps out of this softs. 6 maybe. If he can, that will be good for him, but he probably has to fit earlier than some of the others. As we saw in the GT2 race last night, fuel usage is going to be really, really important. If you can stretch to 8 laps, that gives you a lot of flexibility. And we can already see Biggles is about on the line for that, as are most of the others. In fact, Derek's doing a very good job on fuel, but everybody reasonably similar, except for Unsafe Release, who's just hammering that Lamborghini and will not be doing 8 laps. Everyone's managed to get themselves fairly well spread out early on. It would be good to see who's got the raw pace to start making their way through the field. Let's see how the race 1 frontrunners are doing. Pagani and Aaron are starting to make progress. We saw last night again, if the hard tyre runners can get up to sort of, yeah, you know, mid-pack, P7, P8, by the time of the sprint, they're well positioned, having got those tyres out the way, to really push on from there. I mean, Pagani's setting a T21.8 on the hard tyres, so you're going to have to watch out for him. I mean, he's 18 seconds off the lead, but hard tyres versus the softs being run by the guy at the front. Still plenty of action to come here. If you haven't already, please do like the stream, please do share it with anyone you know who may be interested. Everyone should be interested, well, let's be honest. Especially when we have an Aaron Pagani battle upcoming, which we do have right now. Pagani hits the apex nicely. Oh, a bit of a twitch on the exit, but he's got it stopped. And he's gaining rapidly. Got a much better exit than Aaron. That Subaru does not have good pace down the straight, and in fact Pagani's going to have to let off the throttle through Eau Rouge and then just try and get back in the turn. That's cost him a bit. He actually got too good of an exit out of turn 1. And now I'm not sure he's going to catch. He may do. He's getting closer. Inside 2/10. He's not going to go for the move though. Happy to sit behind. He's definitely quicker though. Definitely quicker. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Who is it? I don't know. Oh. Oh no. Oh, James is dead. Oh no. Oh no, and he's got to wait for everyone to go past. Oh no, James. Oh, what a disaster. How is he? Where is he? How? Oh, he's dropped it on the outside. Oh, okay. He's dropped it on the outside of Brutels, hasn't he, coming out? Oh no. Well, that's that. Never mind. Biggles is in first, and he's got a healthy advantage over Blue Flag behind him, about 3 seconds. Derek doing a good job, now in P3. Yeah, he may as well go back to the toilet now, to be honest. In the meantime, we've got a battle going on. Oh, he has. He has gone back to the toilet. He's left them free. Oh, dear. Right. Derek's doing a really good job in P3. Lee is holding off the cars behind him for now in 4th. He was challenging Derek about half a lap back, but now he's dropped back a little bit. And in the meantime, it is Andy versus Ross. And Andy's got a decent exit there. He's gaining on Ross. There'll be no way through here, but he'll find it difficult out of Eau Rouge as well, because Ross is still going to have the tow from Lee. Just about, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, there's going to be no way back for Andy there. The BMW just does not have the pace. Considering he's in that absolute shitty bit of a car, he's doing a very, very good job. But he has got the Ferrari of Panda gaining on him in P7. So Panda doing that thing that he likes to do, just quietly making his way up through the field, but not too far behind him, about 4.5 seconds back, but obviously getting the hard tyres done are Aaron, Pagani and Unsafe Release, who are nicely just glued together. Unsafe Release set a 2:19.5 on the hard tyres. Ah, that's some witchcraft there, I tell you, if that's true. I still can't believe James has logged off for another shit. Fever going around in P11, hating that Peugeot every step of the way. Always currently P12, and he's giving Graham and Homer finally someone to catch up to. Homer set the fastest lap of the race on lap 3, 2:17.9, which has allowed him to get back in touch with Graham, who's running the hard tyres, and as a consequence is a few seconds slower than that. And they're both catching up to Goy, who's only able on the hard tyres to set sort of 222, so it's going to be a little battle between two Renaults and a Jaguar very soon. Biggles, meanwhile, is coming round at the start of lap 6 and looking very, very healthy on the fuel. Blue flag looking even better. He's still going well. He at least is managing to wring some performance out of that Peugeot. Decent lap times. So going well so far. He'll be looking to make up for race 1. And lead P3, and once again everybody has just stretched themselves out a little bit with the exception of these three. So we've got Derek now in P5, having been passed by Ross. Andy in P6 and potentially looking for a move on his teammate, but maybe not. Not quite. Oh, really good into the corner from Andy. Derek is all over the place trying to hold the position, and Andy nips down the inside. There's a little bit of contact. Derek goes wide. He's managed to hold it. It was a good move from Andy. Derek was all over the place coming into that section, in all honesty. And he goes down to 7th. Panda into 6th as well, taking advantage of the chaos. And he'll be eyeing up Andy next as he looks to move into P5. You see the advantage of people starting so far up and down the grid. As Panda, who ended up in a good finishing position, he's been driving really, really well. But he's had to make his way through the pack, and as a consequence he is 14 seconds behind Biggles in the race lead. Ooh, Ross is gaining rapidly on Lee. And in the meantime, here comes Panda. Oh, bit of contact. Andy took the corner a little late, had to swing back, and there's a little clash of bumpers there, but fortunately nobody suffered too badly. We got some of our liveries in the chat. So Mike said Aaron's Rolo livery. Thieber just said the green one. No idea. Just says someone. Oh yeah, someone wrote the. Oh yeah, wrote the sign for forwards on one side and back to front on the other. Oh yes, I remember that. Who was that? I forget now. Oh, Andy's got a half-second penalty. That is not going to help. That may put him back behind Derek later in the lap. Aaron and Pagani still running nose to tail. Aaron's now swapped positions with Pagani. He was behind him, I believe. I think. Yes, he was. He's now ahead, but these two and unsafe release just running around together, not really doing too much to challenge each other, and that is sensible. Just making the best they can out of those hard tyres. Just making sure they don't get wrapped up in any of the other battles or dramas that some of the others are having. And as a result, they're really not far behind this group of medium tyre runners. The front two, of course, are a lot further ahead, particularly Biggles, who's widening that gap to blue flag. This will be all about where Pagani finishes, really. Long, long way to go, obviously. Rain could still come into it, but if it doesn't, and Biggles just keeps up this level of performance, he should win this race. He's coming round now to start lap 8, which I'm sure he will do, and yes, he will. It'll be interesting to see now who has to come in at the end of lap 7. I think the one we will be looking out for will likely be unsafe release. He's been running with Aaron and Pagani this whole time, but he is redlining the fuel, unlike everyone else. So He may be. In fact, he's going to be the only one in. Oh no, Pagani's gone in as well. So Pagani, despite the fact he probably had enough fuel, has elected to sever ties with Aaron and come in a lap early. He's got a lot more fuel on unsafe race. Maybe he's thinking he can still go around with unsafe, I don't know, but interesting call there. Feber is in as well, despite having a bit more fuel, probably not quite enough. Homer is in off the medium tyres. Graham has got no fuel left. He is in as well off the hards, as is Goy. So everyone running at the back is going for an earlier pit stop. So that will have opened things up a little bit. It'd be interesting to see as well whether there'll be any sense of an undercut. I wonder if that's what Pagani might be looking for. What do we think? Well, he's certainly come out comfortably ahead of unsafe release due to the fuel situation. Fever now in P11, not too far behind those guys. And then Homer, Graham and Goy. Goy's putting a good shift on the hard tyres, so he's still got a chance of a decent result here as Goy. If he stays out of trouble, he's got some clean air now. He's got the hard tyres out of the way. Fingers crossed for Goy. Oh, Biggles has got half a second penalty, but he's got a 10-second lead over Blue Flag, so although it's going to affect him, it won't affect him too badly. I'm sure it will have annoyed him though, having to serve that. And that gap is now going to drop now down to not too bad. Still only 9 seconds. And everybody else now on the red line of fuel is going to filter into the pits. Blue Flag is the best on fuel. Despite the fact the others have been gaining on him, he will claw a little bit of that back as he comes in with 8 litres of fuel compared to the 2-3s of those around him. So gaining a second or two. Everybody else filters in more or less similar. Aaron's pushed it right to the limit. 0 litres of fuel left. Where do we think this is going to go from here? While everyone fills up, let's keep an eye on Pagani. And in particular, where he comes out relative to Aaron, because he's already coming round to the bus stop. Aaron is filling up now. He will almost certainly fill to the top. It's only at 40% now as Pagani comes down the home straight. He's got to get all the way down that straight and all the way around turn 1. So as he heads up to La Source now, Aaron is on his way out of the pits. And, oh yes, so the undercut has worked very, very well for Pagani so far. He's got himself out in P6 ahead of Derek, ahead of Andy and ahead of Aaron. Aaron has split his two temporary Milker teammates in this race. So he's now running P8. Everybody out on the mediums except for Derek, who's come out on the hard tyres. Or in fact Panda and Ross have as well, so that could make things interesting. And Lee. So we've got Biggles way out in the lead and elected to come out on the soft tyres, just try and stretch that lead, which I think is a good decision. Then you've got Blue Flag, who should be okay on the mediums out there. And then you've got 3 hard tyre runners, Lee, Ross, Panda, with Pagani running the mediums on a half-second penalty. Only a couple of seconds behind. And that penalty is going to cost him because Aaron has got past there and probably been let through by Derek, in all honesty, as unsafely sweeps around the inside of Andy to take P9. So Aaron has taken advantage there and he's closing back in. He's a second and a half behind Pagani, and that penalty for Pagani will probably put him back into slipstream range. So the advantage that Pagani had by undercutting Aaron is now going to disappear, and of course that means He's now run an extra lap on fuel and tyres. And as we said, this race is going to be all about where Pagani finishes, you would think, barring any major changes. What are we thinking, people? How is this going to end up? Biggles has got to claw back as much as he can from that disastrous race 1 where he lost. I think he finished 11th in the end, which means he would have lost at least 10. I can't remember quite how the scoring works. At least 10 points to Pagani, maybe more. And there's only 2 points per position on offer in this race. But all he can do is finish first, and he's doing a very good job of making his way towards that at the minute. On the soft tyres, setting a purple first sector. He's going to look to absolutely fly in this stint, and he currently has an 18-second advantage over Blue Flag in second. Ross is all over the back of Lee. And there is Aaron, 6/10 behind Pagani. He's back in touch. So these two will probably look to run again, and this time they'll be looking to make their way past the guys ahead of them. All three of whom are running the harder compound of tyre. And Lee, although he's been very consistent, doesn't quite have the raw pace of some of the others in that Jaguar. So we're going to get a bit of a bunching up here, a bit of a hold up perhaps for these two. Oh, another penalty for Pagani. Another half second. That is going to drop him behind Aaron. He needs to try and avoid those. I don't know where he's getting them. I don't know whether it's Eau Rouge or somewhere else, but he's picking them up reasonably consistently. Fortunately for him, as he serves that, all that will happen is he will duck back into Aaron's slipstream on safe release. His fuel usage cost him in the pits. He is too far back to gain at the minute, so he's got a couple of seconds to make up to get back in touch. Well. She's shaping up to be very interesting already. We are not even halfway yet. There's always the looming possibility as well, as we all, me in the commentary booth, everyone in the chat, sits and prays for a bout of rain at some point. Just to put Biggles on his toes, if nothing else. 2:17.3 is the fastest lap of the race. As Biggles flies around, still has the hard tyres to come, of course, but that is a significant advantage. Oh, just heading back. Dusty said Pagani was wide at No Name. Is that where he's picking up the penalty? Let's have a look as he comes around this time. Coming around now, out of Bruxelles. Oh, he's not hitting the apex there, is he? He's kept it okay this time. As they head down towards P1, he's just out of slipstream range, and meanwhile Aaron is gaining on the three ahead of him. 2:19.2 last lap was Aaron's fastest of the race for him. Okay, we will keep an eye on that in future laps. That is a difficult corner to get right. It almost seems like you, if you turn in at the right time, it seems like you've turned in too early. And then obviously you've got this bollards on the inside, and it's just, this is No Name we're talking about, and you've got this bollards on the inside, and a few times certainly I've just sort of twitched back out to the outside to avoid them, and then that's it. So it's a tricky corner. It doesn't seem like it should be, but it is. However, when you get it right, it feels brilliant. Right, Aaron has got himself into slipstream range of Panda, but Panda's getting this double slip from Ross and Lee, so Aaron's actually falling back, and Pagani's there as well now. He's not lost touch, which is absolutely what he would have been hoping for. Oh, yes. I thought I was out of beer, but I've got a whole other bottle in here. That's an absolute result. Home and Andy running P10, P11. Graham is currently 12th. And Derek and Goy not too far back. So as we said for Goy, he's got his hard tyres out of the way. Derek is now on the hards. And Goy is running about a second a lap faster, so we'll look out for that little contest. But I think the GT2 driver is now finding out just how much of a step up it is to GT1. Even though, as I say, GT2 has been fantastic this year. There really have been some stunning performances. But yeah, GT1 is always another level. And this man has stepped up admirably. I'm not sure of... I mean, the cars are different. You know, there's a bigger range, bigger margin of cars this season than there has been. And I think it's made for a more interesting season, in all honesty. There's been a couple of people who've been caught out for it, and it's been unfortunate for them. They would have been suffering this season. There's been a couple of people who've had to jump into different cars where they've filled in, like me, and gone, what the hell is this bag of dicks that I'm driving? But the car will only give you so much. Oh my god, it's raining. It's raining. Get in the pits, Biggles. Oh, Jesus, that was lucky. He was so close. Oh, this could give Biggles the advantage, because it is pissing with rain, and he is straight into the pits just as it started. And blue flag, and everybody else behind them are going to have to run the rest of this lap in the rain. It's okay at the minute. It's not reached that line where the tyres start to really, really struggle, and everybody is going to have to duck in. It's the guys at the back, unfortunately, who are going to really suffer. However, they've only got a couple more corners to navigate. Everybody makes their way into the pits. Here we go. I mean, that came at just the right time. Biggles was 10 seconds from absolute disaster there. He really was. And that means all tyre rules now go out the window. So that is an advantage to those who've already been running the soft and medium tyres as well. Because it means from now on you can run whatever tyres you like. Lee's carried on. Oh my word, Lee has carried on. I mean, has he seen something that nobody else has seen? That's creeping up. That rain is creeping up. Lee is on the hard tyre. This is going to be a disaster. Oh, Lee. What has he seen? Has he just seen a narrow band of rain on the radar? Everybody else has come out on the intermediate tyres. Lee is on the hards. That rain meter is now up. Ah, he's not got the grip, has he? Oh, he's hanging on in there. I mean, it's not raining anymore. That was a very brief rain shower. However, the rain meter is just and only just tipped into intermediate territory. So if Lee can hold this car on the road, oof, I mean, we're just going to sit and watch Lee this whole lap now, because he is the only... I'm just checking. Biggles is having trouble here. I don't know why. He had trouble coming around P1. Lee is gaining on him. It's now raining again. It's only raining on the southwest corner of the circuit. And how long it's going to rain for, I don't know. It's not heavy at all. So there's only part of the track it's raining on, and we're going to still watch Lee, because... Oh, it's raining a lot more now on this part. Oh, no. Oh, that's heavy rain. That's heavy rain. Oh, he's struggling now. He's really struggling with the grip. He's got to get round this corner. Oh, it's so difficult. Can he get around the bus stop? He's going to have to brake at about 250 metres. Oh, no, no, he's gone. No, no. Oh, he's been reset. That was handy. Go on, Lee. Just get into the pits. Get into the pits. Go on. Get it stopped. Just literally 10 mile an hour. Into the pits. No, no, he's going again. No throttle at all. Okay, he's made it. Oh, it was so nearly a strategy masterclass from Lee. I can't. Where was he before? I can't remember now. Oh, it's pissing with rain. That's really interesting. Is it raining in the rest of the track now, or? I think Lee was around where. Yeah, he was with Andy and co, wasn't he? Those guys are now sort of just crossing the line now, so it's not quite worked out for Lee because of that spin. He was so close to really gaining an advantage there. It was worth a punt, but well. Oh, everybody's really struggling. It's full wet. It's full wet weather now. It is absolutely shitting it down. Anything could happen now. And nobody's decided to go onto the wet tyres. This is all down to who can drive well in the pouring rain, and people are crawling round. Even the intermediates are just not keeping up with this. It is full wet weather. It'll depend on what they're seeing, but does anybody dare make a stop now for the wets? Before the rain came, Biggles had about 20-second advantage over blue flag. That's not dropped too much. It's now 17 seconds, but they're really struggling to hold on to this. If I were these guys, I'd be running some traction control right about now. Biggles is choosing not to. Blue flag is. Panda's got a half-second penalty, but has managed to make sweats P3. Ross is currently 4th. Aaron is looking for the overtake. Aaron's got a penalty as well, but he's going to go for an overtake into Poo-on in the pouring rain. Ross is wide. He's got the drive, though. Ooh, and Aaron just about avoids him and has to back out of that. And that's going to give Unsafe Release the opportunity to come in. Unsafe Release as Ross goes really sideways. Aaron gets past him. Unsafe's going to get past him as well. Unsafe has 1.5 seconds of penalties. Pagani is there as well. He's now in P7, but these guys are all together. Fever is about 10 seconds back, so it's these 4. Still about 20 odd seconds, just over 20 seconds off the lead. Traction control is now being applied liberally. Oh, and Pagani gets on the curve and has a massive slide. He's still going to get past Unsafe Release when he slows down. Aaron's got a half-second penalty as well, but he should be able to clear everyone behind him. It's going to be advantage Pagani and Ross. Unsafe drops back. These two go through. So it's currently Aaron P4, Ross P5, Pagani P6 as they hit the brakes. Oh, Ross hit the brakes a lot earlier and Pagani had to apply a bit of an emergency stop there to avoid crashing into him. And they all filter down, and it's blue flag ahead coming into the bus stop in P2. So podiums are up for grabs for this lot now, and Biggles is struggling. He's had a moment somewhere. Oh, he has now switched on the traction control. That gap was 17 seconds. It is now down to 10 seconds. Anything could happen now. We don't know when the rain's going to stop. We don't know when people are going to have to come into the pits. Oh, it's bad. You'd think he'd be able to go quicker through a rouge than that, though. 100 odd miles an hour. Biggles is struggling. Let's see what the others are doing. Oh, blue flag. Biggles is really struggling in the rain. Blue flag was at least 5 miles an hour quicker through Eau Rouge, and he's gaining, as are the guys behind him. So this is real problems for Biggles. He was leading comfortably before the rain, which has now... has it stopped? Biggles will be praying for the rain to stop here. Of course, all tyre rules, as we said, are now out the window, which means this is a pure time advantage in the race for Biggles, but that advantage is dropping rapidly. He does not seem to be able to handle the rain as well as the guys behind him. Oh, I've seen a comment in the chat from Beach saying, I'm on the red wine, I can still remember last night, so there's somewhere to go. Yeah, last night was not a bad performance from you, mate. It really wasn't. If I were to offer one bit of advice from 5 years in FTRL, yeah, 5 years now, will be that a large part of this is just saying, fuck this lot, I am better at racing, I am going to finish higher than them. Whilst keeping it clean, of course. And there's the balance that's to be had. Panda serves a penalty. Aaron is into P3 for the first time in this race. Aaron is on the podium. Panda still P4. Whoa, they're flying around now as the rain eases off. Panda is there in 4th. Ross is 5th. Pagani is 6th. No, sorry, unsafe release is 6th. He sends it into the bus stop. He's got it stopped. He's got the position. Nicely done for unsafe release. Oh, the trash control working overtime. Woohoo! He's gone defensive. Now cuts back to the outside just to put the squeeze on Pagani. Oh, this is very interesting now. It really is. How's that lead to the front? Okay, Biggles has managed to stabilise things. I think that may be as a result of the rain easing off as we see blue skies ahead of us now. Once again, looks like he may be able to hang on. That gap has come down a little bit. Now Aaron makes the move on blue flag for P2. Round the outside into Lacoum. Aaron is into 2nd place. Oh, with Pagani and Panda trading places. There may have been a little contact there because Pagani looks to have lost out by a second or so. He is down to P7. Unsafe releases all over the place. Coming into Bruxelles. Oh, there's a lot of sliding going on. I think Pagani's managed to slide that 3 times in one lap. Panda is down to P7, sorry. I thought that was Pagani, it's not. I thought that was Panda in P6, but I noticed a hilarious amount of snap overs there. I thought it must be Pagani. Here he goes again, he's at it again. He's seemingly able to correct it just every time, staying on the dry part of the track now. Those tyres, those intermediate tyres are wearing. Who is going to make the call to come in first? At least on this part of the track, there is a dry line. That line is bordering on the edge of slick tyre territory, so there's going to be a call here. Is anybody going to make the call to come in and pit for slicks on this lap? Will it be Biggles? It will not. Aaron's in. No, sorry, blue flag. Blue flag is in. Unsafe release is in. Pagani is in. Oh, they're all following suit now. Oh, now then. Hello. We've got a little strategy call in our hands. The front 3. Or now the front 3. Biggles, 5 seconds ahead of Aaron. Oh, that lead has dropped dramatically. 5 seconds ahead of Aaron. 2.5 seconds ahead of Ross. These guys have all gone through on the intermediate tyres for one more lap at least as Ross run wide. Everybody else is coming in to pit for slicks as Goy just pinballs us off the pit wall and into the pits. What the hell has happened to at least come out on the mediums a lap early and it's just absolutely ruined his race? Well done, Lee. Good call. So Lee's binned it. Everybody else is out on their selection of tyres. Mediums is, of course, the tyre of choice now since the update. Ross has got himself a penalty. Aaron is flying up to the back of Biggles, using all of the wet track that he can. Biggles is still really struggling. And he's lost his whole 20-second advantage now. he will be desperate to get back to the pits and get back onto the slick tyres. And the real question now is how much these guys on the slicks are able to gain on the drivers in front of them, and the answer looks like quite a lot. We're going to stay with blue flag. Look at that gap coming down to the lead. I mean, admittedly, Beals is driving a lot slower than Aaron, but they're out onto the straight now. Oh dear. But look at this gap. Blue flag is the closest. 37 seconds. 36 and a half. Every time they go around a corner, and there's a lot of them, that gap comes down. 36 seconds. 35 and a half. Blue flag has gained about 5 seconds on this lap to the guys ahead of him. And as they all pit, Biggles still has the fuel advantage. That's the one thing he's got going for him. He came into the pits just a second ahead of Aaron, having been over 20 seconds ahead of him when the rain started. Blue flag could take the lead here. Depends on the amount of fuel people have to put in. Biggles may just get in ahead of him. Blue flag's around the bus stop. Fuel's still not going in. Now fuel is going in for Biggles. What will he fuel to? Oh, he's only fueled 3/4 of the way. And that is sensible. He's onto the soft tyres as Biggles. He knows he has to make one more stop. The fuel won't take. Blue flag comes around La Source. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle exit. Biggles has gone round in the pit lane. Oh no! Oh, it's a 24-carat disaster for Biggles, and this guy's ghosted. Oh no. Oh, what a moment to have had. Oh, and just to not be outdone, Ross just bins it out of Eau Rouge and up Radion. And now he has to, oh, he's going to have to wait there. Ross evidently thought that was the quick fifth kind of thing to do. Oh man, well. Look who's in the lead. How did he get there? What happened to blue flag? I don't know. Pagani's in the lead. The track is dry. We'll go once again with 10.5 laps remaining, and this could be the night that Pagani secures, well, not quite, he won't secure it, but this could well be the night that wins Pagani the GT1 title this season. A win in the sprint race, and now he's got every possibility of making it a win in the endurance as well. Blue flag's pace in the dry, he was really good in the wet, he's not quite there in the dry. Unsafe release has got a lot of fuel on board, as has Aaron. Unsafe is only 2.5 seconds behind, so he was saving his fuel during the rain because he was definitely behind Aaron when they pitted. Yeah, he's come out ahead of him. He and Aaron have got very similar fuel. Blue flag and Pagani ahead have got a lot less. Probably about nearly a quarter of a tank less. I've not seen any chat since Beach's red wine comment, so I don't know if it's my phone or you're just all fully enraptured in the action. So if someone could just jump in the chat and call James a silly name for having to for starting race 1 while he was having a poo, just so I can check it's still working. Garney's got a 3-second lead, and unsafe release has gone. Eau Rouge is proving particularly treacherous while there's still some water on the track. And for being in a very, very good position to challenge for the win, Unsafe is the latest casualty, and he may well lose a position to Biggles here. Yeah, neatly done, just in time. Biggles takes P4 back after his moment. Fever is there in 6th, Panda is 7th. Andy going really, really well in 8th. Omer in P9, Graham is now in 10th, Ross after his moment at Eau Rouge in 11th. Derek in P12, and Lee has passed Goy, who seems to have set a 3-minute 5 lap on lap 17. That's quite an effort, well done Goy. Gardy's got a half-second penalty, but he's 4 seconds clear of blue flag. It's going so quickly compared to everyone else. Oh, here comes Aaron. It's really close to the back of blue flag here. Is he going to be able to make a move? Not quite, but he's going to look to cut in as blue flag goes deep. It's dangerous with the wet track. Still in play. Blue flag just about holds on. Biggles is still there, he's P4, but he's now 9 seconds back. Fever is P5, Panda is P6 on safe release after his moment is now in 8th place. He came out around Biggles, so I think Unsafe may have had another incident. Indeed. Only just coming around the bus stop now, this is going to be a 2:46 lap for Unsafe release. And that has crippled his race. Oh, Goy. Goy's having some dramas. Well. The effect a little bit of rain can have, eh? I say it wasn't a little bit of rain, it was a lot of rain, but blue flag is still holding Aaron off. I imagine Aaron is getting angrier and angrier. I think Si's probably holding his breath more and more as time goes on. I think Aaron's just going to have to wait for him to pass out before he makes the move. Does mean Aaron has now lost touch with Pagani. He's still got that. Oh, there we go. Blue flag going extremely wide at P1. He nearly ended up in the campsite there. Aaron sweeps through. He's now 6 seconds behind Pagani though. Aaron's got a decent amount more fuel, but not 6 seconds worth, I would say. So he's going to have to catch Pagani on pace, which is a big ask. Biggles is the man with the fastest lap of the race. Biggles is also in P7. What happened there? Oh dear, it's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong for Biggles. He's back with unsafe release now, and 7 or 8 laps ago it was all looking very, very different. But now this is looking like it's turned into an absolute nightmare for Biggles. Oh, Goy. Come on, Goy. Keep it going. Nearly there. I can see some faint sarcastic applause in the background from the crowd at Spa. Pagani stretching that lead. It's a 2:20 compared to Aaron's 2:22. As we head towards the final quarter of this endurance race. Blue flag is dropping off dramatically. And Panda will be closing in. He'll be eyeing up a podium. Feber is there as well. Feber's had a good race. He may hate that Peugeot, but he's kept it going, kept it consistent, not had any incidents, and as a result finds himself in P5, and the same could be said for Andy. not been involved in any of the dramas, and he is now in 6th. A GT1 6th place will be a real result for Andy. I'm sure he'll be very, very happy with that. He has got unsafe release, and Biggles closing in on him from behind. Biggles' soft tyre run has not worked out as he intended, having featured a 249 and a 234. He's now half a minute off the lead. I'm not seeing any more comments in the chat, so I can only think that it's broken, or you can't all be asleep, surely. Beast might be asleep, he's been on the wine, but everybody else, James is on the toilet. Oh, I can see Goy on the map going round. Just sort of rotating arrow halfway up the Keppel Straight. It's Goy. Oh dear. Right, Aaron is starting to make a move. Garni had a slightly slower lap than previous, and Aaron's had a much quicker lap than previous, 2:19.8. I think that might be a symptom of the track drying out even more. Oh, he's hanging in there. Good man, Booch. Well done. Yeah, keep going. This is not over yet. That gap was 5.5 seconds. It's now about 4.5 seconds. Aaron gained 2.5 seconds on that last lap, so you can potentially see it coming. He's still got the fuel advantage. Pagani's going to have to pit this lap, whereas Aaron could go a lap or two longer. If I had to guess, I would say he's going to do lap 23 and then go onto the softs for a 5-lap blast. We'll see. Blue Flag's still in P3 and he's settled out his lap times, so only really lost a few tenths to Panda on the last lap, so that'll make him feel a bit better. He's also slightly lower on fuel than Panda, but should still be okay, and a podium would be a real result for him as well. People still going in P5, then Andy, then Graham, and Biggles is going backwards, unfortunately for him. Oh, this could well be it, to be honest. It's going to be a real shame to deprive us of a final week Trial Mountain Drivers' Championship shootout, but Biggles has lost so many points this evening, he may even well slip below Aaron in the championship. It was going so well the first half of this endurance race. Pagani, as necessitated by the fuel situation, is in the pits as Aaron goes around to receive the race lead for the first time and do at least one more lap. I think it will certainly only be one more lap. So Blue Flag comes in 12 seconds behind Pagani. Panda is in with more fuel than Blue Flag, but yeah, 6 seconds behind, so yeah, let's see. Phoebe goes around for another lap. He will assume P2, and unsafe release will head into P3 for now. Phoebe's got a decent amount of fuel left, more than anybody else. So, yeah, still an opportunity for him. Where's Pagani going to filter out? I was going to say, the only thing that might affect him is traffic, and he might well come out into some here. Homer goes through. Biggles is there as well, very, very close as Pagani sweeps the outside. Biggles cuts through. He's got the overspeed, but he's going to have to stay behind Pagani here as they head into Eau Rouge. So from being a contender for the race win, Biggles now finds himself a stop behind. Pagani is 6th, Homer is now in P5. Then Andy, then unsafe release, then Phoebe, then Aaron, but all of those guys still have to make one more stop, whereas Pagani has just made his final one. He's out again on the medium tyres. That is where Aaron could have a potential advantage as well. He may be able to head onto the softs. Very low on fuel now. but just a few more corners to navigate on this lap. Beach says, hoping Aaron can win because seeing another person in the Subaru better than me is what I need to justify my continued drinking. If it makes you feel any better, I'll read you a quote I got from Aaron, because I asked him, I said, what's that Subaru like? And he said, he can confirm that the Subaru is a deadly slag. So there you go. In all honesty, it is a car that having driven it, it's a car that needs a lot of confidence and a lot of practice. Both of which Aaron has had, of course, and he comes around into the pits now. Scotch fuel. And we will see, after that final lap, how close he is to Pagani. Fever is going to come through. He may be able to squeeze out one more lap, whether he wants to or not is another matter. Unsafe release will definitely be pitting. Tell you what, if Unsafe hadn't spun it up a road, you'd be right in there. Fever is pitting. As is Andy, as will Homer, and here comes Pagani. Aaron has just started fueling now. So Pagani is going to get out ahead of him, I think, but by how much? How much fuel does Aaron need? Oh, he's out now, he's on his way out. He's on his way out as Pagani comes up to La Source. He's going to just get ahead, but there's really not much of a gap. Oh wow, in fact, they're side by side. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It is as classic FDRL as you are ever going to get. Aaron versus Pagani for the race win. Aaron is on the soft tyres versus Pagani on the mediums. That Subaru is so good through the corners. Surely at some point Aaron will be able to make those soft tyres tell. Well. Blue flag is still out in P3. It was only 3 seconds ahead of Panda. So Panda could challenge for a podium yet. Fever is in P5. It's been a good race for him. Unsafe release. His countrymen, his teammate, not too far behind. Andy has now lost the place. He's in P7. Still a very, very good result if he can hold off Homer. And now we've got a few cars together. We've got Homer, we've got Ross, we've got Graham. Ross jinks to the inside. As Graham may look for a move. Biggles is now P11. Goy is in the pits. And he and Lee may be challenging each other for the honour of 14th place. Last place, of course, going to the Toilet King himself. Pagani's still ahead, but there are a few laps to go here, and we know from past experience these contests between Aaron and Pagani will always come down to the last lap. If it's not a photo finish, I'll be incredibly surprised. The real question is, when does Aaron try and make the move? It won't happen yet. I'll tell you that, it won't happen yet. If it's not going to happen yet, Aaron just needs to hold on to his tyres in particular. He wants to make sure his tyres aren't too worn that he can't effectively challenge towards the end of the race. He will definitely want this win. I mean, this is Constructors' Championship critical as well, if nothing else. Because Team Only Mans are not having a good endurance race. We've got Team Tools P1. Oh, and that's going to be a penalty. That is going to be a penalty, and that may well change things. Half a second. Aaron's looking to make the move immediately. He's looking to capitalise. He's down the inside. Advantage Aaron as he cuts into Lecombe. Takes a narrow line, but he has got P1. So Aaron is now in the lead, so I'll change what I was saying slightly. We now have Team Tom's P1, but not another one until P7 with Andy. And then we're looking back to Derek in P12. Whereas Only Mans their first place car is unsafe release in P5, then Fever in P6, and then Lee is 13th, having just got ahead of Goy. Wouldn't it be great if the team championship came down to a result of Lee versus Goy? I think it's basically Constructors is going to be the big draw for the final week, because it's going to be very, very close after tonight. Only Man gained the advantage in GT2 last night, and also in the first race this evening, but Team Toms are hitting back in this endurance race, and Aaron now has a 2.5 second lead because Pagani has had to serve his penalty and he's had a real struggle this lap. It's all going a bit wrong for Pagani. This is now Aaron's race to lose, 2.5 second lead. He's on the softer compound tyre, there's only 3 laps to go, so tyre wear is not a huge factor. Aaron has made it count. That's a 2:17.7 compared to Pagani's 2:20.7. Blue flag still hanging on in P3, but Pandit's getting closer and closer to that podium. Those two on the same team, they won't want to do anything silly, but Panda has got a 7-second advantage over unsafe release, so they should be okay. Andy's still running well in P7, Homer is in 8th. Biggles has now made his way back up to P9, but in all honesty, it's going to take a miracle in next week's Trial Mountain Endurance race. In fact, it's going to take a very, very bad day for Pagani to change things now. The only thing Biggles can hope for now is a late bout of rain in his favour, but I don't think that is going to happen. The skies are blue, the clouds are sparse, and it looks like, oh, Pagani's hitting back. He's not giving up. It was 2.5 seconds, the gap is now 2 seconds. Pagani's not having it, not in the slightest. If you were put in a life or death situation and you said there's one man, you've got to choose one man to go full send, it would be this man. However, that Subaru on the soft tyres is just lethal through the corners. And stretch out that gap again to 2.5 seconds. He's gone half a second quicker than his fastest lap of the race. But it is just not enough. Oh, Panda's getting very, very close now to blue flag. There's just over a second in it. This is going to be the battle for the podium as we come into the penultimate lap of this race that we're going to want to be watching. Elsewhere, everybody else reasonably spaced out. Biggles has gained the advantage over Graham. Josh is in P11, Derek, then Goy, and then Lee. Goy's got back ahead of Lee. Go on, Goy. The gap now 2.2, 2.1. Heading back down towards that 2 second mark. The Ferrari will have the pace advantage all the way through Eau Rouge, out of Radion, and up the straight. But it won't gain a lot. 1.9. Is there anything Pagani can do? Aaron's tyre is now looking a little on the worn side with 2 laps to go. More or less 2 laps to go anyway. Pagani will just have to hope for a slight mistake that will bring it back towards him. Anything he can do. It's going to be a battle between 2 tools here. Coming up very, very shortly as Panda closes in. He's got the pace advantage. That Ferrari looks really, really nice car to drive. I don't think I've tried it in all honesty, but He's looking really, really good throughout this season. Doesn't seem to have a specific disadvantage. Blue Flag's pulled out a bit more of a gap there though. He's done well out of P1. And round the subsequent corners, just edged it back out to over a second, so he's not done yet. And Pagani is closing the gap, but he is not closing it quite quick enough right now. I think in the situation of probably relying on a mistake from Aaron now, as he closes it to inside 1.7 seconds from 2.5 a few laps ago, but there is only 1 lap to go as Aaron comes out of the bus stop and round for the final lap of this endurance race. Lap 28 of 28, so 1.5 second lead over Pagani, as the two rivals do battle once again, as they've done so many seasons past. 1.3, it then ups again as they drive through the corner, but then Pagani gets a better exit. He is not going to be in slipstream range for this straight, but he is not too far away. This is not quite over yet. Meanwhile, for the podium, Blue Flag has managed to pull out that gap again. Looking back, are there any further battles? Unsafe release in P5, Fever is in P6, Andy is clear in P7 from Homer in 8th. Biggles is now 9th, Graham is 10th, Ross is in P11 ahead of Derek, ahead of Goy, 1.2 seconds ahead of Lee. He's got a penalty. Oh, the battle we all wanted to see. Maybe over and done with. But back now. 0.7 of a second is the gap. Aaron's tyres are dying on him as we come into the final lap. Oh, he's pushing the car wide on every corner, and Pagani's getting closer and closer. Can he hold on? You never know how important this position and this win could be for Pagani. He's gained a massive advantage tonight over his title rival in Biggles that could see him home. But you never know what will happen next week over 72 laps of Trial Mountain. Anything could happen, so this could be all important still as the gap closes and then lengthens just slightly again, but Aaron's struggling to get the car out of the corner. It's still 3/4 of a second. Is Pagani going to be in slipstream range as they come out? Oh, and a big twitch from Aaron. That's going to give Pagani the advantage. He's in slipstream range, but it's still 0.6 of a second. It's heading down towards half a second as we come out onto Blanchimont. Is there anything left in the tank for Pagani? He's getting closer, he's getting closer. I don't think he's quite going to manage it. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, Pagani's out of fuel! Oh no! Oh my word, I wasn't even paying attention to the fuel. Aaron's got a smidgen left. He is going to take on the win. Pagani is going to crawl around. Fortunately for him, he's got enough time to see off Blue Flag and Panda. Blue Flag looks to have held off Panda as well, as Pagani crawls over the line for P2. He's put in such a challenge and then ran out of fuel on the final straight. Blue Flag comes over a very, very good, well-deserved podium. Panda in P4, unsafe release, good drive for him. Just that one big mistake up Eau Rouge cost him a podium into P5. Fever in 6, good drive from him in the unfavoured Peugeot. And very much so for Andy as well, wrangling that BMW home for a P7, excellent result. Homer in 8th, Biggles in 9th. Will he look back on tonight as the night that he lost the Drivers' Championship? We will have to wait and see. He's still got a chance, but it's a much smaller chance than it was at the beginning of the day. Graham in P10, Ross is in 11th. He's had a couple of dramas tonight. And then we will see. Oh no, Goy's got a half-second penalty. This is the drama we all came to see as Derek crosses the line in P12. Goy is 0.8 of a second ahead of Lee, but he's got the straight and Blanchimont coming up, and he's got a half-second penalty to serve, and his tyres are dying, and Lee's on the mediums, and he's okay. Oh no, Goy. Come on, Goy. Sorry, Lee, but we're all rooting for Goy here. He's got a good drive off the corner. I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to have to serve this penalty, and he's close enough, Lee. He's going to drive past him. Goy's not got a lot of fuel left. Lee goes past. Goy's still in the hunt. Go on, Goy. Send it. Send it, Goy. Send it. Take him out. Oh, Lee's gone so defensive. But Goy's gone too offensive, he's gone too far to the outside, and he's pushed Lee wide. Lee's got to hang on. Oh, no, he's spun it over the line, and Goy takes the lead. Goy takes P13 by 14 thousandths of a second. I think we're going to have to clip that right now, because I think that's the best photo finish we'll ever see. Let's do that. Can we save the replay? God damn it. Unable to save. Fuck you, GT7. Well, for those of you who are racing and those of you who watch it back, please head to your replay. Save the replay now, head to your replay. Please go to that photo finish and get a photo for us, because I'd love to see that. What a race that was. I had a bit of absolutely everything. We had the sprint at the start. We had James shitting himself and exiting the race early on. We then had Biggles stretching out a 20-plus second lead, and it looked for all the world like he was going to cruise to victory. And then we had the rainstorm. We had the bold decision from Lee to carry on one more lap on the hard tyres, which almost worked out for him. He got all the way down to the bus stop before spinning it, and that cost him dearly when he could have been in a prime position for a podium. And then we had the rain, the lasting effects of the rain, chief of which was Biggles just losing seconds upon seconds, lap after lap, so the guys behind him just not able to get that Mazda through the wet track. In the end, resulting in having a number of incidents and losing the lead and dropping all the way down to, was it P9? It was P9 in the end. And then Aaron getting past Pagani in the final stint on the softer tyres. Pagani hitting back only to run out of fuel on the final straight before the bus stop. Oh, bit of everything. So, Aaron with the win. Pagani P2 to go with his P1 from the sprint, puts him in pole position for the Drivers' Championship. And it is a Team Tools 2-3-4 with blue flag with a really well-deserved podium. Panda in P4. Unsafe release in 5th, Fever in 6th. Andy, great drive from Andy in the endurance race, getting him a P7. May well see Team Toms. That could be a critical result for their constructors' hopes. Homer in 8th, Biggles in 9th, Graham in 10th, then Ross, then Derek, Goy, Lee, and the DNF. A double DNF. If I'd had less to drink, I'd think of a clever acronym for DNF that linked to James's need to take a massive shit at the end. Started race 1, but I can't right now. Apologies for that, but 2 DNFs for James tonight. Do better next week. Right, that is it for this evening. Thank you very much for joining me. Please join me again next Friday for the culmination of GT1 and the combined Constructors' Championships. And of course, please do be back with us on Thursday evening, 8:30 for GT2. And I have been saying where we are and how many laps we're doing all evening, so I think I know. But indeed we are at Trial Mountain for the endurance race. Please do join us then. Thank you very, very much for watching. See you next time.